What's up? Welcome back, y'all. Today we're working on my terminal emulator. His name is Termi. You know, he's fresh out of the oven. He doesn't support very much yet, but what we do have is we have a shell, right? He spawns, he opens a shell, you can type like ls, you get something, and we've started like implementing some sort of like control stuff that a process that we're running in the terminal might ask for, right? So if we go like pager equals cat get log, there's no backspace yet, so when I mistype, I just get angry and then have to try again. Pager equals cat get log -n1. Right, we see like a commit here, and he's got some colors. This like text here is bold, and so we have like some parts of like if an application tries to display something, it does something. But if we try to do the same thing, we type like get log, we don't. You are like pager shit. Like we have like something here, but it definitely looks like wrong, and like it's not behaving correctly. I'm supposed to be able to like scroll through like I'm supposed to be able to like scroll through, and it's supposed to like, you know, show one page of text at a time, right? If I do like get log here, I can like scroll through some data, and so we're clearly not like we're clearly not there yet. Something's not working right. And so the question is like, what's broken? How do we fix it? And I think we're trying to get to like the point where something like that could work. Okay. So how does this work right now? We have some historical context here that is like actually important. We're like way back at some point in time. We had like a physical terminal. Boom, 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 boom. He's got like his stuff here. He's got like his keyboard. And, you know, this is like his own little thing on the desk. And then you had like your computer. Maybe they weren't called. Maybe it was like a mainframe. I don't know. Something computer. Programs run here. Text rendered here. And there's like one set of lines going between these guys. UART. Right? So it's just like data in, data out. And so you have like bash running over here, and you have like text processing running over here, right? So you didn't have like this like window in your computer that was like rendering the stuff. You had like a thing over here whose whole job was to render text, right? And so you can kind of imagine that you have like this kernel driver, and you have like a kernel driver on your PC. There's like a UART port on here, and so you have like a UART driver. But then you have stuff that's like maybe this TTY terminal, teletype terminal, whatever. Maybe he behaves differently than some other ones, right? Maybe like when you press like a new line on this, when you press enter on this guy, maybe you get like a different character code, right? And so they kind of like build. I will clarify that anything past this line, I'm kind of like making up to rationalize the behavior I see right now. So I'm not like 100% on this. But I do know that there is like a TTY driver. And I suspect that that's the reason why it exists, because like you need to handle different TTYs. Maybe their screen widths are different, blah, 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 right? So you have like a driver for this guy. And so now you're like bash is like expecting to talk to this TTY driver, who will talk to the UART driver, who will like send data over this line to and from this like terminal, right? But then we get to the point where like we're now living in the future. We don't need these like, we don't have these like specialized devices for showing characters. We have like a monitor that's directly plugged into this, and a keyboard. So we have like our keyboard here, and our like monitor. And in our monitor, we have like a little terminal window. But the problem is that like all of the processes that are running on this like already expect to be talking to this guy. And so they've like, when they're like, hey, I want to like send the cursor to this spot, they're like asking the TTY like, hey, how big are you? What's the size of your screen? And then they send like these like special control codes to like move the cursor around and like do shit, right? And so then we're like, okay, well, how do we like implement the same thing? Well, what if we made like a pseudo terminal thing, and we connected here, and this gets connected to our little application that we're running. And so that's kind of like the state we're in right now, is like we have this like file descriptor that acts like this UART, as well as like a driver that talks to like a pseudo terminal device that we can like set attributes on. So we can like resize our window, and we can say to our terminal driver like, hey, pretend that the physical screen is 800 by 600 now, and then like the applications will behave the same as they always did. And so where we're at right now is we're trying to like handle some of these like special control codes that come over this line. to get to the point where like things work correctly. We're gonna probably also have to start implementing stuff like this. So I think the plan of action is kind of like to like run less the program, see what we don't handle correctly, try to fix it, iterate. That's kind of like the plan of action for today. And so if I remember correctly, we had a test that we were running that was like, we were trying to print out some of our own source code. So we were looking at like less source terminal emulator mod rs. And we had, he's not really working quite right. And I was seeing last time we tried this test, I'm pretty sure I saw a unhandled delete line, but I don't think I'm seeing that anymore. If I remember correctly, that was the capital M, and I'm not seeing that anymore. Instead, we're seeing unhandled CSI codes. I think we don't have to worry about these ones. These are happening at every prompt line, and I think I looked them up before, and I think those are just like show and hide the cursor. So I think that's not important. We can look at, let's see, Wikipedia, and ANSI codes. I think that's where I was looking at this before. And I remember looking at these and seeing that we were looking at, bracketed paste mode. It's bracketed paste mode. Text pasted into the terminal will be surrounded by this shit. Programs running the terminal should not treat characters escaped by these sequences as commands. Okay, so every time the prompt line runs, we turn off and on. Fuck, where am I? Clear. There we go. Every time a new line happens, we get this like bracketed paste mode on and off. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the things that are associated with these we do see this like question mark 2004. So I think we can ignore those. But what else is not working? So if we less source terminal emulator, less source terminal less. I should fix backspace. This is frustrating as all hell. Less source terminal emulator mod rs. So we see like, you can see like the start of the file is like kind of showing up here. When we scroll, we do see like things resetting, but they're definitely not resetting in the right spot. It's possible that our terminal emulator is not wide and tall enough. Like it could be that we've said that it's one size and it's not. Here I see a lot of, here's the delete code that I was missing before, big M. And then we see like missing equals and missing open brackets. So I think maybe we start again, source terminal emulator mod rs, and we just look at what is the first thing that doesn't look right. And it looks like we're missing let's put some new lines in here and run it again. So it's less source terminal emulator mod rs. Okay. So we're missing the equals one is the first one. But if equals works, theoretically everything here should work correctly. So let's look at this, like at the very least on the first screen, everything should look right. So let's start by trying to implement that one, which is, let's see if the equals sign is in here anywhere on Wikipedia as a common one. It doesn't look like it is. I don't see that. So we're going to have to look up in the like initial spec to see. So we can look at like ECMA 48. How long did it take you to get productive in Rust? It's a good question. It was a long time ago, so I have to think about it. But definitely like there's an intuition about the borrow checker that you kind of need to build so that you write the code in a way that Rust likes. And that took a while to like break out of some C++ habits. I haven't hit any like Rustism issues for a while, so I must just be like accidentally coding the way that Rust wants me to. But I don't know how long that took. I definitely had to unlearn some C++ habits, which, by the way, I think were like good habits to unlearn anyways, right? So like some of the patterns that Rust like pushes you into, I think are like very useful even when you're writing C++ applications, right? Like just splitting up your code so that you're not like mutex locking global state all over the fucking place, and instead like having like threaded objects where you're passing stuff between them, just like the concept of handing things off instead of like sharing them, is something that like took a while to get, but is just makes, I think is like just better, easier to reason about everywhere. What am I looking for again? I'm looking for what the fuck is that equals. So we need to look up the equals ASCII code. ASCII table. Maybe I like this one's purple, which means I probably like this one. And we're looking for equals, which is 3D, which means that if I look up 3D in this guy, they have like this like weird fucking format that they use where they, instead of writing like, where's my terminal? The terminal that works. Instead of writing like 0x3D like a normal person, they write 03, and then I think D is 14 is what they write instead. So we can look at for 03, 14. And does that not exist? Interesting. So that's just not in this spec. So let's reset. Clear, sorry. Reset doesn't work. Less source terminal emulator mod rs. Let's just make sure that we see the same thing. Unhandled equals. Yeah, so 3D. Maybe we should write them. What we should do actually is when we write them down in our unhandled thing, we should also write them here as number/number, so we don't have to do this conversion every time. So we can look at this is going to be esc shifted by 4 to get the first thing, and then esc and 4. No, and 0xf. There we go. For the second thing. This is like assuming you have 1 byte, this takes like 0b11110000 and like shifts it into 0b00001111. Like this shit gets like nuked, which is what we want for like the upper half, and then the lower half we just mask it off. Cargo run, just to make sure I didn't do the conversion wrong. I think I did, but 0608. No, that's just not right. That can't be right. Oh, it is, because that's H. Sorry. So then we run the same test. Less source terminal emulator mod rs. And yeah, that is the only one. Also unhandled SGR44, so we can look at what that means as well to see if that's a clue on what's breaking. So 44 set background color. Okay, we don't care about that for now. Yeah, so it does look like, I think like if you look at this, the only like real problem, something's like not like resetting to the right spot, I feel like. Let's try, fuck, I wish like up worked. Less source terminal emulator mod rs. Right, like, so if you assume that this is a 80 by 24 or something thing, this like text at the top should be resetting to position here, but instead it's overwriting here. So there could be a bug, or there could be something that we're not implementing. It depends on what this like equals escape code is. Oh, there's also this unknown open brace, and if I press space, like all of this stuff I would assume is supposed to show up at the top left. We could maybe check that in our terminal emulator. If we go like less source terminal emulator mod rs. If I press space, we expect it to scroll. Space. Now I press space again here. Sorry, let's run it again. Less source terminal emulator mod rs. Space. So it actually looks like, oh fuck, I wanted to do something else. Clear. Less, fuck. I wanted to press enter a bunch of times. Less source terminal emulator mod rs. I want to press enter a bunch more times, then press space. So it looks like, from that perspective, nothing's actually going wrong, right? Like, according to us, when I press space, we're not missing anything that we're supposed to support, but it's definitely not behaving correctly. So that's kind of a clue that maybe the first thing that we're looking at is actually trying to debug why less is not overwriting itself. It definitely should be. Okay. So what might be interesting is if we could maybe write out to a file what less is doing, study it, and then try to guess what we're doing wrong because of that. Before that, though, I do have a guess that I know that the terminal emulator does not have the size that less thinks it has, which might be a problem. So let's fix that first, right? Because I think, if I remember correctly, so escape code to clear terminal is not working yet. That one is. If I run like cargo run, and I say ls, 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 and I write clear, that works. But it might be that like they're doing something a little bit fancier that doesn't. So if I remember correctly, say that we have some buffer here that's supposed to be 80 characters wide and like 24 tall. And if I remember, these numbers might be wrong, but if I remember correctly, there's like we don't ever set this, but there's some like implicit value that bash just like uses. And so we should probably test what that is, because probably what's happening is less is probably assuming that we have something around this size, and it might be writing to specific locations assuming this size, and we're not matching it, so that could make a bunch of rendering stuff look like just totally fucked up, even though it shouldn't. So I think that's probably the first thing to fix, is to make sure that like our screen actually is this size and like our data is handled as if it is, right? So I think that's the first thing I want to look at. So maybe we can say, we're at 1742, and we can say like, ensure like limit GUI screen canvas size. So instead of actually like, one of the things on my list to do was to like set the canvas size, but I think for now let's limit the GUI canvas size, and also we probably want to check what programs see as canvas size. So we can like check this and then set the GUI to match, and then we will also have to delete data that does not fit in canvas, because we're not doing that right now. Right now we kind of pretend we have like an infinitely long canvas, which is not true, and that might be fucking up less in some way as well. Okay. So I think if I remember correctly, there is this thing called term iOS, which is like a like spec for how I should talk to my terminal emulator, I think, from a program. And I think one of the things in here is like size. No. Let's Google it. Term iOS terminal size. Getting terminal width in C. This person says sig winch is called, but how do I get the initial set init screen? T get ent term buff term type T get num li and lco. Okay, so this is lines and columns, which is T get num. This looks more like what I would recognize. This is what I was looking for. TIOC get win size. Maybe this comes from TTY ioctl, which is kind of like not a POSIX spec thing, but more of a like Linux specific implementation thing. So I think this is actually what I was trying to remember. TIO get win size. Yeah. So we can like look at our file descriptor and say, hey, Linux, what is the file size, the window size of this? And we can see what it says. And that might give us a clue for what our programs are expecting. Hey, I've been watching some of your VODs this week while I've been at work. How tricky have you found writing a terminal? I mean, so far it hasn't been anything crazy. It definitely doesn't work good, so you know, it's tricky in that it's shit right now. I expect that there will probably be a lot of time poured into this before it works well, but nothing about it has been like hard per se. It's just like you got to do work sometimes, you know? I've been building a Vim style text editor and learning a lot about things like escape code and signals you end up running into. It's a really fascinating topic. Yeah, it's weird how like I feel like the whole thing is wrong. And that's part of why I wanted to do this, is to like understand why things are the way they are. But it does really feel like a lot of the behavior is like, why are we doing it this way when we're like 50 years past? Like, you know, you'd think that like at some point we would have come up with something better, but we'll see. Okay, so we maybe want to write like a shitty little program that gets the window size. And so we can do something like include sys ioctl.h, and we can say include term ios.h like it says to. Because of time, not difficulty. That's, yeah, I think that's current state. And so we can say like, I want to run ioctl on, do I run it on stood in or stood out? They're just saying open dev tty. That doesn't seem right. It seems like I should be able to run it on like my standard input handle. I'm gonna try just one. And we'll see. And then the command should be get win tc get TIOC g win size. That's the one. TIOC get win size. So ioctl here is like me asking Linux to like look at a file, but do this like out of band like control stuff. And so it's like, hey, there's like a bunch of like extra shit that this file supports, and like let's take a look-see at it. Should be like return 0, set tab stop equals 4, shift width equals 4, expand tab. Okay, so this guy goes here, and is one stood in or stood out? I can remember, but we'll find out. I guess maybe we won't. Maybe it won't matter. And we can say, please set the stuff in win size. Okay, and then we say struct win size, like this. And then we check the return code. So maybe we'll just return the answer. No, we won't. And we'll say if ret equals -1, we will printf error no, %d, I think. No, and return. And otherwise, we will try to print the window size. Fucking typing Rust. Printf. What are we printing? The width is a integer. Height is an integer. And width is ws row on win size. And the height is win size ws call. Looks like. I think. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. This could very well be wrong. gcc-o test, test.c. 0 STA in, 1 STA out. I guess I probably want to switch them then. I guess stood in and stood out are both going to the TTY, so it shouldn't really matter, but I guess we'll see. I guess we could check. ls-l, well, we can see ps aux grep bash, and then we can just look at proc, like this guy, and file descriptors. Yeah, they all go to the same spot, so it doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't fucking matter. I forgot to include stood.io, gcc-o, and we probably need erno. Okay. So this guy, width 27, height 154. I got them backwards. Rows are height and width is column. Okay. gcc-o test, test.c. Okay, and I resize this guy and run him again, and that does seem to be responding correctly, so good. And I can cargo run and test. And width 0, height 0. Okay, so even if bash has some sort of default, there's no guarantee that less is using the same default, which is a good clue. So maybe we actually do just have to set it. Which we can do with a similar function, but on our side in Rust. So it's like let's see. I think you go to somewhere, we construct our terminal emulator, and maybe what we'll do for now is we won't like ask the GUI to set anything. We will just manually set it ourselves on construction. Jesus, this is a big file. And figure it out from there. So we can do something like nix. Why is my autocomplete not working? Rust Analyzer is running. He is just railing CPU, so it could just... Oh, there. Is he done railing CPU? Nix. Yeah, he just wasn't done parsing. Okay, sure. So one of the things that we must be able to do is set the window size with the nix crate, which is just like nice little wrappers for syscalls. I seem to remember looking at this at some point, but I guess we probably didn't finish it. But I think somewhere they had like gwin sigwinch man for T2I ioctl win size TIOC s win size. Oh, we probably had to do... I remember having to do this like ioctl right pointer bad. This looks really familiar. So is this anywhere in the code base? ioctl... No. Okay. But we did look at this before. Where it was something like you generate an ioctl by saying like nix ioctl right pointer bad. If I remember correctly. We'll double check this. And we call it... Oh, yeah, this is a perfect example. Perfect example. So this guy takes in the function name. So this is going to be like set window size. And the ioctl request code is going to be nix libc tioc swin size. And the data type passed by this ioctl is going to be whatever like win size is, nix pty win size. Okay. So we need to use nix ioctl right pointer bad. Cannot determine resolution for this thing. What doesn't it like? What doesn't it like? Did I forget that we need to specify some features? We do. It's octal and I think that was it. Oh, and then I didn't, I had nix : somewhere in here that I shouldn't. Okay. So now we have this function we can call, which is set window size, and we can set the window size to something. So we can say nix pty win size. And we can say rows, we want like 80 calls, we want like 80, maybe 80 by 24. And then I think these guys were unused, it says in the docs below, so we'll just make them 0. Fuck it, doesn't matter. And let win size for this, and then we pass in, we say set window size, and we pass in win size or something. This expects an ioctl, so we need the file descriptor as raw. FD, and this needs to be unsafe, and this guy needs to be set as mute, and we unwrap him. And he doesn't need a mutable reference, so we'll just take it out, I guess, because it's a setter, not a getter. And cargo run. So this should run the ioctl to set the window size for us when we construct the terminal. And then, hopefully, if I say test, look at that! Pretty good. So now we have a terminal size to work with. So I wonder if this will change the behavior of less at all. Nope. Less source. Fuck less source. Fuck less. Fuck less source. Terminal emulator mod rs. Okay, so not really. We don't really see a difference in behavior. It's still like kind of fucked up. I can't select anything, but here, fucked up here. And when I added more, it didn't like reset to the beginning. And the only unhandled escape sequence we see is this like equal sign, which we didn't see in the initial spec. I also wonder if maybe it's expecting like tmux in some way. I've kind of noticed before that if I echo term, it thinks we're tmux. So I wonder if I say term equals dom, fuck, export, term equals dom, fuck, export, term equals dom. I wonder if this changes the behavior at all. Less source, terminal, emulator, mod rs. Terminal is not fully functional. Still not really behaving as expected. And we are still seeing that sum equals, so that's kind of interesting. And is this... Oh, this is unhandled escape sequence, not unhandled CSI code. So that's okay. I was looking at the wrong thing before. ANSI escape codes. Nope, not this one. So this was not, I was looking at these guys down here, CSI, but there is just escape equals. Which I don't know if are handled the same way in here. So we can maybe look at table of contents. C1. Yeah, I don't see anything. Okay, it would be the same, I think. And we didn't see it, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's go back to making sure that our GUI size is the same as what the terminal thinks it is now. So we can set this to something like, maybe something small so that it doesn't run off the edge of the screen. We'll say it's like 16 by 16, and we'll adjust this later. And maybe we will say const width, or terminal width is 16, and the height. Certainly these aren't supposed to be U sizes, but it'll become clear soon when this guy complains about something. He's saying U16, so we'll say U16 here. Okay. And maybe we'll get a little more generous. Maybe we'll say like 40 by 16 or something. So the text is big, so probably we won't have that much. And we'll make these public so that the GUI can look at those and just pull them out and use those to set his size. So eGUI must have some way to set the size. eGUI set window size. Window size. eGUI. There must be some way. Window size. Resize. Max size. Fixed size. Sets the window size. But I don't know if we're on a window. Why did I read Rust as Osu? Dude, you're addicted. You've been playing too much. UI set. Oh, here we go. We can set the width to terminal emulator terminal width times the character size. So we have somewhere character size is this thing that is width and height. Okay, can we do the same thing here? Set height to be the same thing. They don't like this, that this terminal emulator guy is the wrong thing. So maybe we say create terminal emulator. And we can't multiply, so we just say as F32. Okay, now hopefully when I run this guy, we have the thing fixed to a certain size. Not true. But if I start like typing in here, Something's wrong here. Something is wrong. Set width. So if I say set the width, it doesn't really tell me a lot here. Central panel. Maybe it's on the panel I have to set. Central panel. Maybe I want to set it here. Frame, and we get the frame, and we have show, nothing, no real stuff on here, but maybe on the frame we do. No. You're also doing set height with width of the brown. That's true. That is true. I sure am. eGUI fixed window size. How to set the outer window size. That's what I'm looking for. eFrame, native options, initial window size. If you want to put the slider between the two letters. So I can set the initial window size, but can I not? Maybe I can also ask it to not be resizable. Ah, yeah. Here we go. But I guess at this point, I don't really know. I don't know the font size yet, which makes this kind of awkward. Oh. Gross. But that's fine. Can I resize eGUI resize window? Can I like resize it from within? UI allocate space. Windows and eGUI shrink and expand to fit the contents. But I want to like resize, like there's like windows inside and like the root window. Resize root window. Yeah, it does seem like if you want to put the slider between two letters. Yeah, it's more about the slider. Alright. That's fine. I don't want to waste too much time on this. I really don't. So is there an easier way to fix this? We go to the native options when we construct our GUI. We say, maybe what we do instead is we just try to make a window inside. That's fine. Or can we like central panel size eGUI? Can we like, yeah, is there a way to auto resize the central panel? This guy doesn't answer. Gross. Is there really nothing I can do but the frame to set the size? No. Alright. Alright. Oh, maybe window? No. Begin. Show. Yeah, okay. Okay, whatever. Is there a way to dodge this? I don't understand why this is not changing the behavior at all. Can I like change the background color of this guy? eGUI change background color. I guess we can like create like a UI painter. Rect filled. And we can just look at the UI. Max rect. I don't know. And no rounding and fill color white. Just like see if I understand this correctly. So if I understand this correctly, we should be setting the size to something and Yeah, something's wrong here, right? Because I would think that if I am setting the width and height, then it should be clamping. Allocate exact size. No. Allocate UI. Then adds content to the space that the contents overflow. Ah, I see. So can I, like, not fucking do that? Like, I don't set... This set width and set height are setting the max height, so why... You won't be able to shrink it below the minimum size. You shouldn't be able to grow it above the maximum size. Like, what the fuck? What is max rect doing? So he is looking at the max rect, and it's looking at region max rect, and if I set the height, set the max height, and he is setting max rect. So he looks at self region and he adjusts it. So when I get the max rect, he's looking at the region max rect. So like, why the fuck isn't this doing anything? How come on resize it's like changing the behavior at all? That doesn't make sense at all. Right? Am I fucking high? Can I just say like 10F? Like, I want like a 10 by 10 UI. Something's wrong. eGUI set width not working. Like, is it supposed to do something? eGUI set UI width. Oh! Actual width will depend on contents. Default. Oi, yoi, yoi. Containers, panel. Maybe I need a new container. Add a background frame and or margin to a rectangular background of a UI. So maybe I just need to make a frame? Something's not lining up. UI width. Get width. Right? Like print line. If I get this, shouldn't this be 10 now? Like, am I high? Yeah, it's just not. It's only changing based off the content. So something must be overriding. If I do nothing else in this, let's just... This is pissing me off. If I just don't do anything, is it like expanding to fit content? No. So it could be that the central panel is like causing issues. I don't know. This takes in UI. Okay, so maybe within all this we say frame none show UI like this. I wanna see something that works the way I expect. Which is maybe an eGUI frame, none, and there, maybe now the frame will have the size I expect. If the frame I can... There we go. Okay, so I have the central panel, which is like fixed to the size of the window, and then I can make a frame inside that I can resize, I guess. God, that's fucked. Okay. So I lost the sizes that I actually want to set, which were these, and so I can say frame eGUI frame none with then show UI, and then I just do everything that I was doing before inside this, I guess. Like this. Now, hopefully... Okay, we're close. The cursor... we need to pad this a little bit. Plus self character. Maybe like plus 10 or something. I don't know. I guess we need the character size. So we say let character size is equal to this, and say let xpad is equal to character size 0 over 2.0, and ypad is the same. And then we say this is times the terminal. Oh, we can actually, what am I saying? We don't need this. We can just do terminal width plus 0.5. Yes. Yes. Okay. So now we have some padding on the guy. And hopefully that means that it won't wrap the way it's wrapping. It'll wrap a little better. Gross. Something about this is just like fucking wrong. Which could actually be contributing to the fact that less is totally broken. So at some point we started looking at making GUI match expected behavior. Whoops. So, okay, clear. Oops, wrong window. Clear, clear. LS. So that's probably working as expected. Maybe not, to be honest. Oh, because the width is 40, height 16. Oh, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so the width is right, but maybe it's the new line that's being inserted is like causing issues. The parentheses are correct for both variables. I think the first one you forgot to put the parentheses. I don't think so. I think they're right. This guy is saying I want the width plus 0.5 times the size, character size. This is I want the height times 0.5. I wonder if it's like, if I just like add 1 here, if that's gonna cause, if that's gonna make it look a little better. Like, I feel like it's wrapping too early or too, maybe it is too late. Oh yeah, no sweat about, no, don't worry about interrupting. I can choose to ignore your comment if I don't want to look at it. It gets a good to get double checked. Oh! Okay, something about this is just like totally fucked up. So first of all, my cursor tracking seems wrong. It seems like it's dropping twice every time the new line happens. It's weird that like I haven't put any new lines anywhere in this thing. And it's getting new lines at all, which seems like a bug. Right, I haven't typed a single new line in this entire thing. Unless Bash is sending new lines anyways, it might be. Bash might be sending us new lines, so we should probably check that. Let's look for... Okay, we're gonna go back to fuck this like padding shit. Now maybe we'll still add in the 0.5, because I think that's reasonable. And let's look at our terminal emulator. And look at... Somewhere, we get input. Read. And for now, let's just print out if we ever see new lines coming in. If incoming contains a new line, print line, found new line. Okay, this will be a good clue for if Bash is doing something that we don't expect. So now I'm just going to start spamming a letter. And no, we never get a new line in. Okay, so the next thing to check is on our output. do we ever return a new line? So we can say let outgoing is equal to this, return outgoing, and we do the same thing. If outgoing contains a new line, print that we found a new line. Why doing a terminal emulator? Because I feel like it. Because I feel like it. I mean, there's stuff I don't understand, so write one, figure out the stuff I don't understand. Fun project. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's see how many new lines there are in like the stuff that we're trying to print. Because if we're injecting new lines when we shouldn't, then there's like a bug somewhere that we need to fix. So we can look at outgoing and iter count, and we can filter for basically new lines in here. Yeah. So we can say filter each character if the character is a new line, and we count them. And we might have one new line at the end all the time, but that's okay. And then we can just look at print line. Num new lines is num new lines. Okay. This do we need double star? Weird. Okay. Is something like less just a crap ton of fancy escape codes? I think maybe that's my like understanding right now, but it might not be. It might also, because like there's some things like it's expecting like a certain terminal size and stuff. So there's also that. So num new lines 1, no matter what. Okay, so that's good info. What I would also like to look at is maybe the number of spaces, because it could be that we're like doing some like stupid fucking padding internally. And adding like a whole line of spaces when we shouldn't be. So we could be looking at how are you planning to handle the alternate screen? I don't know what you mean by alternate screen. Num spaces. So we'll do the same thing, but we're going to count spaces instead of new lines. And say num new lines is this, and num spaces is num spaces. Feels like there's something wrong there. So just start spamming this. Okay, yeah, we are injecting some spaces here, which is a bug for sure. But only one space per line here. But then, like, why am I seeing like a full line get added in between? Very odd. Very odd. It could be like the wrapping behavior of the labeler is not doing what I expect. In the GUI. So maybe let's try scrapping all of this. Let's pretend that we're not using the terminal at all. There's 2 screens in a terminal. I think you can access the tput that some apps like terminal, like Vim use. Oh, are you talking about like presentation versus data mode or something that I saw in the spec? There's no plan right now. Yeah, this is probably, I did see something like this in the spec. I haven't got here yet, so, you know, no plan yet. Probably we'll have to duplicate the buffer, like the dupe, and then have the same behavior, but didn't know that existed yet. Okay, so what was I trying to do? I was trying to see, what if I just make a UI label with like, you know, just a lot of these, like just a long string. Does that guy behave the way I would expect him to? So far, yes. He does seem to just be wrapping on the edge of the character, which is good. So it's not, it doesn't look like it's that. Maybe we could print out what the expected output is, and we could maybe debug. Maybe that will give us a clue from UTF-8 unchecked. And we can just look at self terminal emulator data. And maybe this will give us a clue about why it's wrapping like that. Okay. So we're definitely seeing an injected space every... Does this tell me how many characters selected? No. But this is probably 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh god, I can't count that. Echo dash n this WCB 38. Oh, but this 38 plus these two. So it's probably every 40. Probably every 40 characters, because that's our terminal width. It's adding a space. So there's a bug there for sure. So I guess we can just fix that first. And maybe after we fix that, maybe we'll get some clues. Because maybe there's also some sort of like stupid wrapping on space as well that's happening in our UI. Oh yeah, let's check that. Yeah. So maybe the label wrapping might try to wrap relative to words. That would make sense for like a UI framework to do, right? You don't want to split a word if you don't have to. And so if there's just random spaces injected, it might be trying to insert a new line early. By default, self-wrap will be true and vertical layout, blah, blah, blah. Note that /n will always produce a new line. And wrap can be follow layout, some true. Yeah, it doesn't really say. But I bet you we do UI label and we do something like, you know, a lot of these guys, and then a lot of them, and then a lot of them, and then a lot of them. Like, are we going to see some sort of like wrapping at spaces? Yes. Yes, we are. Okay. So these are some really good clues. So 1, we're injecting spaces. 2, it's trying to wrap at word boundaries. So we have to fix both of those. We have to fix both of those probably. So let's fix the injected spaces. Let's fix the injected spaces. So 57, 30. Holy shit. We're 57 minutes into stream. We haven't done anything yet. Holy. So we're going to look at fixing extra injected spaces. Tapas, thanks for the prime. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay. Good that you haven't done anything, so I just got here. Perfect. It was all according to plan. So probably we can, I assume this is reproducible pretty easily. I assume that we can make some sort of terminal buffer. Function test long line. Test long line. And I assume that if we just keep pushing some stuff in here, so we say, I'm going to insert some data, and I'm just going to keep doing inserting a D. Okay. And we will say our cursor pause is mutable. Okay, it was like this. And if I remember correctly, this guy returns the new cursor pause. So we say cursor pause equal to new cursor pause. Okay. And now we're just going to loop over this 50 times. And what we should expect is that the output of the canvas should have no spaces. It should have no spaces in it. We should see like let data, let retrieved data is this, and then expected is going to be something like the letter D repeated 50 times. And I think that this thing always sticks a new line at the end, so we can say expected push a new line, I think. which might be wrong behavior actually, but we should check that. I think that's what I expect right now. And we can assert that the retrieved data is equal to the expected data. And this will probably fucking fail. No? Test long line. Interesting. Interesting. So this is working okay. I did not expect that. Did not expect that at all. Is Bash giving us a new line? No way, right? No way is Bash saying, here you go, buddy. If incoming contains a space, say found space, is Bash like trying to help us with wrapping or something? Oh, I need to fix the back out this bullshit in the UI. Okay. Okay. So spam Ds. Yeah, nowhere in here are we saying that we got one. So who's doing this? Something's crazy here. Okay. So let's look at when we insert data. And we can say print line response like what is it doing to us? I guess maybe we also only want to look at like the new response, new cursor pause. Maybe it's like moving the cursor around and that's resulting in some like fucked behavior. Maybe. Because I feel like I'm not doing anything crazy. D. Oh, it does also seem like we are only printing every once in a while. So I'm going to go back and delete some of this code that's in the GUI that's print line. This is just a problem. And in terminal mod print line, I just want to delete anything that's printing here. And then maybe we can go back to checking if, okay. So here we increment the cursor position on X a lot. We get to 40 and, found space. Okay, so Bash. Why? Why the fuck is Bash giving us a space? Is it trying to like help new line wrapping? What the fuck? Because that's not anything to do with like our handling. That's like Bash is literally sending us a space. Why? This is okay. Wait, why? Let's just print out the whole fucking thing. Stood IO, stood out, write all, incoming. This is all the stuff that we got. And we can say print incoming this, and then we print line at the end. And maybe we even put some, some quotes in here so that we're clear if we get a space, and we need to use stood IO write to be able to write all like that. And let's take a little pieces, because that's fucking wild. So we just get D, lots of Ds. Womp. We get to line 40. Ah! Haha! Okay. So probably we're getting a carriage return. And we don't handle that correctly. Why the fuck? No way is that Bash's default behavior, right? To just like overwrite itself? Like it's not doing it here. No way. No fucking way. Why? Is it because I have like a custom prompt here? If I set the same, it's sending /r/n, right? I think it's not sending a /n. I think it's only sending /r space, which is so much more confusing. Can we, is there an easy way to like write this shit with like escaped? Like Rust turn string into escaped string. Interpreting escape characters. How do I escape string? Efficiently split lines by white space. Blah 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 blah. No, I kind of want like I want to like turn like. I want to turn their things back into /r/n. I guess I just have to fucking hex dump it or something. I guess I'll just write it as like a debug format string. Debug. Oh, interesting. So if I do like this, and then I convert the thing into a string. So I say like stood string or stir from UTF-8 incoming. I guess I'll check it. Fine, and I'll just unwrap. I'm pretty sure that there's no invalid characters in here. That would be cool. That would be cool for sure. Ah, yeah. So I'm getting D space /R at character position 39. That's bizarre. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's fucking weird. And it's not doing that in this window. If I say like, I think I like fuck up my environment a little bit. I think I say unset. Somewhere. I spawn a shell, and in here I unset prompt command, and I export ps1 is equal to $space. Okay. So if I resize this and I go like nothing's happening. Right? So like what the fuck? Can I like watch can I look at like a ls proc self file descriptors? Can I like watch the output of this guy? If I say like somewhere else this, oh, that just fucks up everything. Clear. I want to like read from file without consuming. Surely this doesn't exist, right? Like I don't without read Linux peak file, right? Like that. No, that's not gonna work. But maybe I could spawn a shell that also writes to a file? Can I do like bash t temp.txt or something? But that's the output. I want like what bash is. Oh no, that should work. Oopsies, exit. So if I look at bash no profile, no RC, ls, exit. So if I look at temp.txt now, I do have what I wrote. And so now if I then resize this and write like d d d d d d d d d d d d d d d d d d d, right? Like, why not? Exit. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's 2 lines. Okay, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. I look at temp.txt. Nothing happened. Really? Maybe something to do like line buffering? Maybe when I create this file descriptor. What the fuck? What is this? I've never resized this before. You can like make your status line just like fucking massive. Why would I want that? That's crazy. Okay, sorry. Distracted. Okay, so maybe there are some like attributes set on the file descriptor when I say where is it? Fork PTY. Maybe like the default options are different. Maybe. Right? And so maybe we can call like I think it's STTY. You could strace write syscalls on bash. Yeah, that's not crazy. That's not crazy. But I do want to try this first. So I think it's there's like a way to like print TTY attributes. I think it's like stty-f. Okay. stty-f dev pts was a 6. Okay. And then if we run our guy, stty. So here's this stty. Those look the same. What if I look at ls-l dev? Nope. Fuck. ls-l proc self fd. So we have PTS 7. So can we do something like stty-f dev PTS 7 and ls-l proc self fd? So we're 5. So if I do stty-f dev PTS 5, they're the same. So nothing crazy about that. Oh no, wait. UTF-8. That is different. But that should be minor. I don't expect that to be a big deal. How do you set stuff again? Oh, maybe I want to do stty-a. Yeah. Sick. temri.txt. We'll save it there. And we'll open that in another window or something. Cat temri.txt. Okay. So is there anything in here that looks fucking wild? Enter, C, quit, erase, kill, EOF, EOL. None of those are crazy. EOL2, switch, start. All of these look the same. Stop, suspend, rprint, all the same. Erase, all next. Discard, all same. Min, time, same. Okay, so this is probably where it gets interesting. Is like the actual parameters. This all is the same. Hup, stop, creed, clocal, all the same. Ignore, break int, ingapar, all the same. All the same. istrip, inc. I don't know what any of these mean. I'm just trying to see if there's like any clues in here for like why mine would behave differently. Yeah, so this guy says minus UTF-8. This guy does not, which is what we saw before. And then the rest of these all look the same. Echo E, echo K, no echo new line, no flush, no X case, no to stop, no echo part, echo control, echo choke. No, yeah, so nothing in there looks crazy. So then why? Why is bash injecting a space for me on my terminal? Why does it hate me? You know? You know? Let's think. I think it does seem reasonable to strace write calls on bash. That does seem like the next reasonable course of action here. So can you do like strace dash e write echo test? Like I just want to see. Yeah, okay. So that is how you do it, and then you can do strace dash e. Can I like say strace write to a file so that I like it doesn't like fuck everything up? I guess I can do like strace dash e bash to bash writes dot text. Oh, he doesn't like that for some reason. He doesn't like that. But I guess I can attach to a running process. So, ls proc cat proc self pid. No. ls-l proc self. Okay, and then I can do strace help. And I think I can attach this to a PID. Yep, strace dash e write dash p this. No such process. But I see it right here. No such process. Do I need to like enable ptrace or something? Ptrace, no such process. strace p no such process. Like I know that the process exists. Eperm could be if the target either cannot receive signals from strace. Gross. strace bash. Oh, god damn it, dude. Damn it. Because, yeah, it is just behaving weird. I just tested stracing bash and I do get the /r. But, like, why am I not getting it? Oh, maybe you're saying that, like, you get the /r, but you don't see it show up on your screen, maybe? Is that what's happening? Like when you see the /r, you don't. Oh, interesting. That's fucked. So the terminal emulators are like handling that in some odd way, or maybe the T2Y is, right? Like you could imagine. Like I know that there's like raw mode and line feed mode. I don't really know what those are, but it could be that like and then I know there's like this like read line thing. What the fuck is read line's behavior? Like what is he doing? Oh, let's go back to that. Whoa, let's go back to that code that's being written that I was ignoring. ANSI escape codes. ANSI escape codes. Nope, not this one. I want this one. Right, let's go back and look at, what was this guy? Turn on bracketed paste mode. Text pasted into the terminal will be surrounded by this. Programs then running in the terminal should not treat characters bracketed by these sequences commands. Okay, so that must not be related. Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. What if I... Okay. Maybe we can Google this. Bash carriage return in prompt input. I don't know what to like fucking call this. Bash emitting carriage returns on input. Yeah, nothing of this seems right. So it must not be related to terminal size. Right? Must not. Because if we... Well, it is to some extent because it's sending the carriage return when we hit the supposed end of the line. Right? Like I have test width 40, and if I change this so that if I change the width from 40 to, 10, I'm pretty sure we're going to see the thing like changing resetting every 10. Right? Here we see the \r. So it is related in some way to the expected terminal width. Echo term. Tmux. Okay, so onset term. Like if I do that, still the same shit. Weirdly differently though. Now so maybe it's like a Tmux thing. So let's reduce the line length here. Ah! Okay. That's a really good clue. So we see here, if I unset term and I start typing a lot, it does do this like carriage return shit, and it's injecting this like character here that's saying like, hey, you're going back in time. Okay. Interesting. So that means that someone is looking at the term variable and changing behavior as a result, which is fucking crazy. Very odd. So, I mean, arguably we shouldn't be lying about our terminal. I think I've read some stuff about like term info and term cap. I've like seen these words around. Database of terminal capabilities. So at some point we need to see, maybe it would be interesting to like look at what things are in this term info. Because probably bash or maybe readline is looking at the capabilities of our terminal and deciding to behave differently as a result. So you could imagine that Tmux is like flagging in some way that he expects carriage returns and he'll ignore them, but like use them internally in some way. So can we look at like where does term info good go? Info comp. Jesus Christ. What does any of this mean? Oh. That's interesting. So when I type the clear command, this is why I was getting that. So before we just typed clear and we saw an escape code followed by like set cursor to 1-1, then clear everything. And that's what this is like set in here as like the expectation for that. That's interesting. So what is this stuff up here? What is any of this? Man, term info. Each field ends with a comma, blah, blah, blah. Describes terminal setting. He says, hey, I have a bunch of capabilities. And here's how you perform screen operations and pattern requirements and initialization sequences. Okay. So it's very... One of the many things that it must say in here is that I want you to... Ooh. Here are the Boolean capabilities. Okay. Let's look at term equals DOM. Term equals DOM. Term info. Nope. What was the command? I already forgot it. Info comp. Okay. And So maybe one of these Boolean capabilities at the top. Ooh, wait. K end. Okay, let's go back to the man page here, and can we look at like what does like K end mean? No, man term info, K end. Oh, these are key codes. Okay. Are any of these like behavior that we expect to see? Can I look for like \r in this? No. Doesn't seem like \r is anywhere in this. But maybe it's called like something else. CR for carriage return? No. Can we look for like AM? What is AM? That's not helpful. AM space. Auto margins. Usually the default. But that's a suffix. Oh, auto right margin. Terminal has automatic margins. Okay. I don't know what that means. Term equals DOM info comp. But this guy says he has it as well. Search wrap in the man page. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Basic capabilities. The number of columns on each line of the terminal is given by a call's numeric capability. If the terminal is a CRT, then the number of lines on the screen is given by the lines capability. If the terminal wraps to the beginning of the next line when it reaches the right margin, that should have the AM capability. If the terminal can clear its screen leaving the cursor in the home position, then this is given by the clear string capability. If the terminal overstrikes, blah, blah, blah. Overstrikes rather than clearing a position with a character, then it should have the OS capability. If the terminal is printing a terminal with no soft copy in it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this isn't really what I'm looking for. Ooh, terminals which ignore a line feed immediately after an AM wrap, such as the xlen_l. Oh, XNL. Okay. Terminals which ignore a line feed immediately after AM wrap. Okay, can I look for AM wrap? What is an AM wrap? Automatic? It must be. So can I unset? Can I like change my own terminal capabilities? Edit terminal capabilities term info. I want to like edit them. But I guess maybe if I look at these files, I maybe can make one. Maybe I can like create a new one and experiment with it. I think that seems reasonable. So we can make really good terminal capabilities. Because this XNL sounds suspicious, right? If he's saying, hey, I'm going to ignore line feeds after AM wrap, automatic wrap, maybe Bash goes, oh, then I won't fucking send this like fucking carriage return thing, because you're just going to fucking ignore it. And maybe Tmux is saying that because he doesn't want that behavior, because he knows that he can wrap it reasonably. Maybe? Maybe. It would be, maybe we should, yeah, let's, if we can figure out how to construct our own version of these term infos, then maybe we can just behavior. We can like experiment at least. But I guess we have no proof right now that Bash is using term info. Does Bash use term info? Bash loads the term info. Yep, okay. Ooh, and I can maybe specify a term info. Ah, okay. Okay. So we can look at this. We can look at under the T, probably for Tmux 256 color. Okay, yeah. CP, Tmux 256 color to test term info. Can I say test term info is equal to this? Can I look at like, how is this variable supposed to be used? I specify a path according to this guy. Oh, no immediate effect. Is only used when the term info entry is loaded. It doesn't trigger reload. When you exec bash, so you need to say term info equals this. Okay. So first of all, can I look inside this? And this is some fucking wacky thing. So how do I edit the term info database? Edit term info database. What is this thing? Modifying existing term info definition. Perfect. Ooh. TIC. Got it. So I take the thing and I say info comp tmux 256 color. Okay. And I split that. Maybe I'd say info comp dom. Dom. And I stick this into termi, or test, I guess, .ti. Compile it. Which turned it into something. Where did it go? TSE help. Source file. Where does it go? Where does it go? Compile for the term in the term info database. Where does it go? strace tsc sti. Right. For. So it goes to somewhere d/dom. Ah, it goes to my term info d/dom. Okay. Gotcha. So let's delete that. That's fucking scary. We don't want that to exist, right? And let's maybe change the name of this guy. So we'll look at this guy, and he's not going to be called Dom anymore. We're going to call him my test stream test. Termi test. Okay. So if I compile this thing now, I did write to t termi test. Great. And if I look at term info, t termi test, wonderful. Okay, so now I should be able to edit this thing, and I wanted to add in X and L to see if that changed behavior, right? And then I should be able to say term equals termi test bash. And then I should be able to say term info, or sorry, was it info comp? I didn't write tick. So, but now if I say info comp, I have that X and L. And if I spam Ds here now, I still get this. Okay, so that's interesting. I get this thing here now. So it wasn't X and L, but we can start now bisecting which of the many fucking things in the tmux 256 thing is causing that behavior. Because now we have like a pretty good indication that there's a difference. CR/R. Info comp tmux 256 color. CR/R. So that's still there. It's also interesting, when I searched for /R before, it didn't find it, but I guess I have to put double slashes there. Okay, can we just like copy all these guys? Let's just see. Let's put all of the Boolean flags on there, right? Am I in? I'm in termi test right now. So now I'm in 256. Okay, so nvim. Or I just foreground this, and let's just paste this whole fucking thing. Are any of these Boolean capabilities the thing? We compile it. We don't have to strace it anymore, because we are convinced that this is correct, and we can say term equals term test bash, and we resize this, and we start spamming the letter D just to see. Still, okay. Okay. I guess what we should try is try taking the original 250 Tmux 250 Scholar, sticking it in test TI, renaming this guy. Oopsies. What's happening? Oh. Renaming this guy termi test. And we'll even say termi test. And if I now, what's happening? Echo term, okay. I wanted to tick this guy. Line 2, column 25. He doesn't like that. Maybe I fucked something up. Tick. Okay. And if we say ls term info, he's there. Great. And term equals this, test bash. And so hopefully we should see that the wrapping behavior still happens. Good. Okay, so that's an indication that even this really is caused by the term info. And I guess the correct, like the easiest test ti, the easiest thing to do here is just like deleting a bunch and running it again. Oh, oops. I don't want to edit in this. Echo term, where am I? I'm in this. Exit. Where am I now? Okay, back in Tmux land. And we can go here and we can do the same test where we spam things. And it is one of the things that's still in there. So we just keep going. Exit. Foreground. Delete some more shit. Bisect, bisect, bisect. Term equals bash. Do the same test. Spam some Ds. Still wrapping. Great. Delete some more shit. Oh, fuck. Did I forget to compile it? I think I did. Tick is equal to this. Term equals bash. Run, like, do some shit. Print, 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 print. Okay, now we're in this case. Oh, I said that a year ago. Probably no, but I think I did it again. Okay, so let's just double check that we think it's one. We think it could be something in this list. So if we write, compile, run, spam some Ds, we're backtrapping. Okay. Sick. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. So one of these many guys here is causing the behavior. Like, surely it's this CR is \r, right? If we delete this, then it can't. No, wait. Deleting \r, we're deleting something that's causing the \r. Okay. So I guess we just add back in half. And run the test again. Okay. So one of the second half, it's some of these guys is what's causing it, right? We can probably also go back to just like, if I just delete all of this, we should still see that same behavior, I think. Yeah, we're still wrapping, which is good. That is what I expected. And so I guess we just go line by line now. Delete this. File, run, write some stuff. Ah, okay. Sick. So we just found the line that it's in that's causing the behavior. One of these guys is causing this fucking weird wrap behavior. Right? So if I run this as is, I should see that it wraps correctly the way we would expect. Compile. Run. Wrap. Good. Okay. So just making sure that, like, double checking my current understanding. So, cup. Let's just look up what, maybe we can start getting a little bit. Cursor address. What, okay, what section is this? This is, these are the string capabilities. Cup. Cursor address, variable string, cap name. Okay, so cursor address, cup. TCAP code, CM. Move to row number 1, columns 2. Oh, so it's saying in order to move to column 1, so if I want to move to row 1, column 2, I execute this string. Sure, okay. What's CUU? Up 1 line, okay. So if I support up 1 line, or is there another one? Up 1 lines. So why would any of these, the ability to move back a line? Oh! Okay, so maybe it's because if I hold left to edit something, right? I have like a string like this, womp, 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 and I want to go back. It needs to wrap the cursor here. So maybe if I don't have the capability to move the cursor backwards, Bash doesn't know what to fucking do there, and it gives up. Okay. Wait, but none of this is explaining... this is explaining the difference in behavior, but none of this is explaining the carriage return. Right? So if I execute this now with a termy, and I say oops, let's make my that's fine. We can say export term equals termy test. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Now it's behaving normal. Okay, so we were kind of tracking down like 2 separate things. One was the fact that in Tmux, like sometimes it's resetting to the beginning of the line, sometimes it's extending the line. But we're also trying to debug why the fuck is that space inserted when we type stuff. So we're getting somewhere. So now instead of inserting a space, he's inserting new lines? Oh, so he's hard inserting new lines now, which is interesting. Got it. So what is like, okay, let's break this down a little bit. What is the problem we are trying to solve? We are trying to solve the fact that when we hold the letter down, it was injecting a space that we didn't want it to. We have discovered that that is related to term info. Let's write this down. This is okay. Discoveries. So we have found when holding down a letter in the bash prompt with our existing code, we see spaces injected when we don't expect. It's not just space. We see \r space. In Tmux, when we hold down a letter, Japfo said strace sees the same behavior, but it is not rendered. We also found out that in Tmux, or in Tmux, if we remove some term info capabilities, unclear which ones so far, probably CUU, long lines are no longer wrapped, but extended and overwritten. Okay, in termy, when changing some term info, the /r space turns into /r/n/r. Okay, that's pretty clear. Great. So, like, what are we trying to solve? We're trying to solve the fact that, like, it's just behaving fucking weird. And so it sounds like there is some terminal capability that we can adjust to make it behave sane. So what probably makes sense is we should probably start with, like, a dumb set of capabilities, and maybe we should expand them as time goes on, right? Like, if we say term equals dumb, does less work? Less source terminal emulator mod. Like, he says warning, I'm not fully functional, but less still works. So probably what makes sense to do here is we should just start with, like, the dumbest definition. To be clear, I saw space /r, not r space. You're right. I think that was the same everywhere. So this is like this. Yeah. Okay. So if less is working here, probably makes sense to say, okay, so there's all of these, like, behaviors that you can, like, opt into with this, like, terminal database. But then we don't know what any of them fucking are. And so, like, why would we like try to act like one when we're another? So probably what we should do is we should start by setting our terminal to dumb for now. And then the they will expect the absolute dumb fuckest range of behavior, and that's okay by us. Okay. And now, let's go back, and we said somewhere where we set to 10 width. Let's set it back to, like, 50. And now let's see what happens if I run less. Maybe maybe it will emit more sane commands in this case. In fact, you can already see that, like, before we were seeing some unsupported, we were seeing, like, every line, it would go like, hey, that's not a supported command. And now it doesn't do that anymore, which is, like, a really good sign. And let's see if we do, like, git log-n1. Oopsies, clear. Oh, that's pretty funny. Clear doesn't work anymore because one of the terminal capabilities was that we should say what escape code to run in that case. So we actually need to do something more like echo-e escape code. Go to the first line and column, and then escape code clear everything. Oh, we were close. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So we say pager equals cat git log-n1. So we've actually lost all coloring and stuff. So we have to set the capabilities for the stuff that we've implemented. Okay, sure. So okay, let's start with. We'll start with the dumb definition. So we can say, how do we want to do this? So we say info comp into termy.terminal info. We edit termy terminal info, and now we can start doing stuff like saying clear is equal to, I think it was escape, go to the first line, which is escape open brace h escape open brace j, and then we can say probably one of them. Well, let's try that for now. So then we say tick termy.ti. He doesn't like that because line 6 missing separator, so I probably need to put a comma here, and I probably need to say this is termy here. Okay, that compiles. And then we can go into our terminal emulator code and we say we're termy. And if we run this, hopefully now the clear command goes back to working because we've, like, told it what it is. Okay, we're close. There's an extra... I accidentally put a... Is it like this? No quotes. No quotes, probably. So, tick, Charming TI, cargo run, fair. We're back to working. Okay, so now we can start like adding back in the stuff we support. So we can look at the info comp of TMUX 256 color, and maybe colors is what we want to look at here, right? Maybe we look at man info comp and look at colors. Nope, man term info, look at colors. And we can say, I guess this is how many colors we support. So maybe for now, we'll just say colors 8. We support 8 colors right now. We compile that, cargo run, git log -n1. Oops. Oh, but the color's there. We're back, baby. Hell yeah. Sick. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can... Okay, so now if I start holding this D... Okay. Different behavior. So we know now that this is supposed to end up at like the start of the line, and it's supposed to say we're keeping on going. We're seeing a bunch of U8s. Oh, interesting. I'll bet you that's a backspace. I'll bet you that's a backspace. Hold on. I think it's all coming together now. So sorry, ANSI escape codes. So I bet that we're seeing backspace. Okay, so the implementation of, in like the dumbest terminal emulator case of all time, the implementation of export term equals DOM, when I like start typing D's here, and at the left side, it like sticks this like bracket on here, this like open brace here, and then says like, you know, as I type more, it like keeps shifting everything to the right. What we're seeing in our like logs for our terminal emulator is that the implementation of that is it just backspaces a fuck ton. So it goes like, I'm gonna delete all of that stuff and put in this new stuff. Which is pretty funny. That's pretty funny. And then they say like here, yeah, okay. I think I'm starting to understand. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So now I wonder if we cargo run and we say let's source terminal emulator mod rs. Press return to continue. We can like look at what it's doing here. So it's using /r/n. What is U1B? Oh, that's the escape code. So he's then using like cursor move commands to delete. What is lowercase m again? I don't know if that's implemented right now. Let's look. Fuck, there's too much going on. ANSI, and we can look for M. So this is so this is like a like formatting specifier. So like if they want like bold and shit, they're saying like basically like turn off all formatting. Go to the beginning of the next line. Then here's some more text. Oops, sorry. Here's some more text. Clear formatting, next line. Clear formatting, next line. I see. So then what happens if I try to do some sort of like interactive behavior here? Like Cypress like down here. Carriage return resets everything, and he writes spawn shell down here. Okay. So he's doing carriage return clear. He's not like resetting back to the like I don't see anywhere where he's trying to reset. Oh, to the beginning. Oh, he's going back to X1, Y27. Yeah, I don't see anywhere where he's saying like go back to the beginning of the buffer, which is kind of weird. But like if I go in here and I say term equals DOM less source mod source terminal emulator mod rs. Surely, like, yeah, he's doing something, right? So we're still missing something, but we've got a lot farther. Okay. So we kind of accomplished not a lot today. In 2 hours, we didn't really write any code, but I think that we learned a lot. So what happened? We got like stuck down this rabbit hole of like, why the fuck isn't less displaying correctly? Then we got to the point where it was like, wait, even typing in bash isn't displaying correctly. Why is it behaving differently than tmux? And we discovered these like term info, term capabilities, and we kind of like bisected some to kind of extract some expected behavior. We kind of learned that we should be creating a term info. And so what we should do is, as we start adding features, we can start populating this term info with more and more things, and hopefully applications will now look at our thing and we'll go, wow, you're super fucking dumb. We'll do the dumb way of doing stuff. And hopefully if we implement those things correctly, it'll start working better. And hopefully that will kind of like limit the space of what we have to do to get to somewhere sane. Yeah, I think that that's enough learning for today. What are you drawing with? I'm drawing to the screen. Are you talking about like what is this window? This is eGUI, a like Rust immediate GUI framework. But like the amount of GUI code that's in this application is like not a ton. Like what is this? This is like 200 lines of GUI code. It's not a ton, and it's mostly like a lot of this is like converting between font sizes and like character positions. So I'm hoping. I mean, what I'm kind of envisioning for the project now is that what I'm doing right now for like my terminal handling in general is I render everything in tmux, and I have like one tmux session that runs all the time, and it goes like when I SSH into my computer, I can like attach to the same tmux session, and that allows me to like continue on with what I was working on before, but like still have like different views into the same set, so I can be like in one window looking at this tab and one window looking at the other, and they like are independent. So I'm kind of imagining, we'll see if this ends up anywhere useful if I ever make it this far. What I'm imagining right now, I promise this comes back to the eGUI thing, I promise. What I'm imagining right now is that it would be nice to make a terminal emulator that like acts like tmux but is a GUI, right? Because like it seems silly to use tmux when, you know, I could just have tabs, right? Like when I'm at my desktop, the correct experience is to be like use GUI features. But then when I go back to my laptop and I want to SSH back in and like double check something, then it would be nice to be able to spawn something like tmux that uses the same backend, right? All the same data and all the same terminal buffer handling, all the same, everything is the same, except like I've got like a different view into it. And then maybe, right, I could take eGUI, I could stick it, I could like compile it to WASM, and then I could like maybe say spawn a daemon on my machine that I can like go into my web browser and continue on from where I was from the web, where I still get all of like my nice GUI features, but like I'm not at the computer. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So this comes back to the eGUI thing, because what I was trying to say was I'm imagining multiple UI front ends, and I'm going to try to keep as little code in the GUI as possible. That's kind of like the current vision, but that will probably adjust over time. Probably. Okay. So tabs suck compared to multiplexer IMO. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want tabs, but I want like a GUI that like has nice scroll back, you know, that isn't like this like weird tmux scroll back and stuff. Like I want like the same features, but like within a reasonable application. Okay. So my head hurts. We learned a lot. We didn't really make much progress. We made some. I think I'm going to call it there for the day. We're at 2 hours, so thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, I stream most days around 1 or 2 o'clock Pacific time for around 1 or 2 hours. We've been doing a variety of topics, so right now we're kind of working on this terminal emulator. I expect that we'll continue working on this for a while, but like sometimes like I hit a roadblock and it would jump onto something else. So like last stream we were looking at like bundling images in CSS sprite sheets to improve loading time. We looked at like operating system stuff, AI stuff. Yeah, yeah, and we're gonna keep going on this. So most days, 1 or 2 o'clock Pacific time. If you're watching on Twitch and you miss stuff, there should be a YouTube link in the Twitch description where you can like catch VODs and stuff. There's a GitHub link where code eventually goes up, and a Discord link if you want to get like notifications and shit. If you're watching on YouTube, swing by on Twitch, say hi. I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one. Bye.